Good morning, Andrew Schneider from Medtronic. Wanted to take it to a happy question. And a lot of you talked about organizational design, which is a fantastic topic. And my kind of happy question, but I'm going to frame it a little bit, take it any way you want, is really around the sustainability of demand planning orgs and putting you in a sales hat, how you try to do that. Because when we go to sessions and we talk to each other, we talk about how important demand planning is, how demanding it is, trying to find the Prince Charming of what is the best demand planner. And then once you get them, they're exposed to all of these functional areas that they get a lot of great opportunities to grow organically throughout the org. But we've also talked about the risk of know your demand, know your signal, and there's a lot that you can lose. You want to see people grow, but you want to see demand planning be sustainable through its life cycle with the company. So my question, take it any way you want. You can use examples of your organizational design, career mapping, job enrichment. How do you make demand planning the desired place to want to work in your companies?
Well, I'll tackle this, but we're also going to have a work stream on, I think, work stream 4 today, which is going to talk a lot about talent. So I'll dodge a little bit of that. But what I will tell you is sustainability around a demand planning organization is two things for me. One, I've never met an executive who didn't want the resources reporting through their function. So you have to be careful with that. And I think that the way you do that is by showing value over time. So there needs to be the opportunity to mature. There needs to be the discipline to kind of hold the course. And I think then it's important to show that. The other thing that you alluded to, which is about them understanding being the experts of the demand. One of the things that I think that I've diligently tried to do within our organization through a number of different venues is that we've got to get away from the tribal knowledge component. So anything that we do, anything that we learn needs to be documented and shared. We need to be transparent because an organization can't sustain over time and become efficient and optimize if they're reliant on tribal knowledge. So it's great that you have someone who is an expert, who is passionate, who knows their stuff. It's a tragedy if they don't share that and educate those around them, because you can't be reliant on that kind of design. That's my own personal perspective. It's very difficult to do, but that's what I would have to add to that question.
So once again, we'll get into this a little bit more later today, but it has a couple different factors. A, structurally, have you created an organization that gives them a career path? In previous roles, we've had multiple levels of demand planning, so you can go and continue to do that and have that path. But the other thing is you need to create an organization where people want to work in your organization. It is an extremely stressful situation. You have all the biases that are beating up on both sides of you. You need to be one of the reasons why they want to work in your group too. It has to do with you have their back, they trust you, you've created an environment that even though it's extremely stressful, they enjoy coming to work on Monday, right? Don't want any of that Sunday night dread. And this is a very, very stressful area. So you are the main factor why they're going to stay there, and then you're going to give them an opportunity to have a career in that career path.
So I have a thought on this one. So I went to another conference and I met up with an old colleague of mine. I believe he may actually work with you, Wayne Skinner. Wayne works with you, right? Wayne Skinner, you know Wayne? Okay. So Wayne saw me and he's like, "Oh, Carlos, we need demand planners. How do we get them, right?" So demand planners have become this really scarce resource, really. I mean, and globally, exactly. Like I was just having a discussion with my leader in Europe, and he said, "Oh my God, like how do we recruit these people, right?" So they really become a commodity, right? And so the reality is, the reason why it's so difficult to find demand planners is because your very question is exactly the point. They become these cross-functional leaders. They become so immersed in the way that the business functions, that they're these valued assets, right? So of course, all your high performers, you lose them very quickly, right? Within 6 months to a year, some GM is tapping them for some other key role as a brand manager, an associate brand manager, or something like that. So that I think is inevitable. So the idea of having a good career path for them is right on, but make sure that you're developing your talent, your pipeline, knowing that you will always lose your top performers. That's just an inevitable fact of life, right? But the other thing is, I think these folks are entitled to what I call an inspirational leader, right? And that's really on us. And so how do we become that inspiration for them to have them want to continue to do a good job with demand planning and develop that function to the best of their abilities?